The finest, the only Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Yes, keep watching.
Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
This is me giving a rapid response to Rapid TV.
My name is also.
My name is Ima Ehumadu, aka Labista.
My name is DK, aka Mama Chinedu.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
You are watching Rapid TV.
Shout out to Rapid TV.
Hey, Rapid TV, Carigo.
The biggest, the finest, the only Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Yes, keep watching.
Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
This is me giving a rapid response to Rapid TV.
Your car.
Are you serious? You are the most amazing husband in the whole world.
Oh, come on.
I really miss my son.
I know that feeling. He's your small husband.
Can say that again.
Abel, you still haven't told me who the father of that boy is.
My name is Aki Osakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akava. Go by the name Baba D. And you're tuned into Rapid TV.
And I love Rapid TV.
Shout out to
Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it well down.
Leave it like that.
Welcome to Rapid TV News tonight. My name is Ugochukwu Madumere. In the headlines, House of Reps launches probe into crude oil theft. 125 Boko Haram terrorist financiers convicted. CBN injects $148 million into Forex market, 28 dealers benefit. Obama's endorsed Kamala Harris for president in 2024. Plus, Paris Olympics hit by long queues, ticketing chaos on opening day. Details of these and more will come to you in the bulletin right after now. The news in detail. The House of Representatives Special Committee on Oil Theft and Losses has commenced investigations into the illegal lifting of crude oil in Nigeria. The event, which was declared open by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas, was attended by the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, and Inspector General of Police, who were all represented by senior officers accompanied by men drawn from the military formations. Our National Assembly correspondent, Godwin Amunde, reports.
Committee on Oil Theft was inaugurated on November 22nd, 2023 to determine the immediate and remote causes of oil theft and recommend appropriate remedial measures, among others to the House, and also mandated to investigate oil theft in all ramifications, focusing on the actions of criminal gangs, militia groups, local communities, companies, and security agencies. In his remarks at the event, Abbas, represented by Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, lamented the negative impact oil theft was having on the nation's economy, even as he decried the daily losses of crude due to the activities of criminals.
The statistics on crude oil theft is very alarming, and its negative impact on the economy is quite monumental. For instance, it is estimated that between January and July 2024, Nigeria lost an average of 437,000 barrels of crude oil per day due to theft, vandalism, and other criminal activities. At the current price of oil, this translates to over $10 billion over this period of 7 months. I wonder how a government that loses about $10 billion in 7 months will be expected to meet up with its responsibilities for the citizens.
Also speaking, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, reiterated the commitment of the federal government to secure the nation's oil and gas infrastructure, noting that in the past 4 years, over $1.5 billion was spent in this regard.
2020 oil and gas report indicates that 619 million barrels of crude oil, valued at $46 billion, were stolen in the period between 2009 and the year 2020. Therefore, Nigeria has continually failed to meet its daily production quota, as set by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, that's OPEC.
On his part, Chairman of the Investigative Committee, Alassane Adodogua, promised on behalf of the committee to do a good job in the interest of Nigerians.
To ensure a thorough investigation, our methodology includes inviting memoranda and presentations from key stakeholders within the oil and gas industry and security sector, holding investigative hearing meetings, conducting on-site visits, and engaging in further discussions with international and local oil companies, host community leaders, and relevant agencies with a view to fighting this unfortunate menace.
They are holding and doing a business that is very dangerous. This work they have given you is more than dangerous. Don't take it that it's going to be lightly, it's going to be easy for you and easy for the committee members, because you are going to face people who are sabotaging Nigerian economy. In other clime, they are supposed to go to the gallows, death penalty. And I can say, as a former presiding officer, the information available that I saw is too dangerous.
Meanwhile, the immediate past Deputy Speaker Idris Wasi has urged Adodogua to brace up for what will come his way, noting that the oil thieves would come after him. From the National Assembly, Godwin Amundi, Rapid Television News.
The Northern Elders Forum has come out in strong support of the Dangote refinery, condemning what it calls an unpatriotic onslaught against the project. According to a press release issued in Abuja, signed by its convener, Professor Ango Abdullahi, the forum accuses those it described as enemies of progress within the oil and gas sector of attempting to frustrate Aliko Dangote's efforts. The forum criticizes recent comments from the NNPCL and its regulatory bodies, saying they are a deliberate attempt to demarket the refinery and derail economic growth. The NEF also blames the NNPC cartel for rendering Nigeria's 4 refineries comatose over the past 30 years, making the country dependent on imports. The Northern Elders Forum welcomes the intervention of the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Enokin Lokpobiri, and pledges to stand with Dangote in defense of the project, which he believes will bring prosperity to the Nigerian people. A group, Northern Group Frontiers, has condemned the House of Representatives' motion calling for the removal of Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority NMDPRA Chief Executive Farouk Ahmed. The group made its position known while addressing a news conference in Abuja. Rapid News correspondent Godwin Amunde reports.
It will be recalled that the House of Representatives on Tuesday urged President Bola Tinubu to suspend Ahmed for his unguided comments about the quality of products produced at the Dangote refinery. The lawmakers requested Ahmed's suspension pending an investigation into the allegations against the authority. This followed a motion addressing the outrage sparked by Ahmed's comments. Besosa Iyawe, who moved the motion, claimed Ahmed stated that diesel produced by the Dangote refinery had high sulfur content and was inferior to imported diesel. The House, which visited the Dangote refinery in Lagos on Saturday, noted that the billionaire's request for a product quality test at his $20 billion facility. Reacting to the issue during this press conference, Northwestern coordinator of Northern Group Frontiers, Ambassador Abdul Usman, criticized the move.
We recall Dangote once check that led to the freeze of Boa's asset, the orchestrated land grab that shuttered Boa's sugar refinery, the deportation attempts of Boa's expatriate staff thwarted by presidential intervention. These instances demonstrate that it's ruthless in pursuit of monopoly. Yet the House of Reps choose to target the Nigerian NMDPRA boss for speaking the truth to power.
The group called on the House to retract its resolution and uphold fairness and independent investigations into Dangote's business practices, while emphasizing the need for protection for whistleblowers and industry regulators.
The House of Reps to retract its resolution and uphold fairness in all directions. An independent investigation into Dangote on ethical business practices, protection for whistleblowers and industry regulators who dare to speak truth to power.
The group calls on the House of Representatives to thoroughly investigate how, since President Obasanjo's era, Dangote has been the only investor buying all available black oil in Nigerian refineries, shutting out rivals and manipulating the market. Abuja, Godwin Amunde, Rapid Television News.
The federal government of Nigeria has pledged to strengthen its 50-year-old business relations with China. President Bola Tinubu made the promise while receiving the Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Shen Jiandong, at the State House in Abuja. The president described the relationship as a new beginning that needs to be nourished and promoted. President Tinubu commended China's support for Nigeria's bid for a more prominent position in global organizations such as the G20, UN Security Council, and BRICS. He also appreciated China's consistent strengthening of relations with Nigeria and Africa, particularly in areas like infrastructure development and skill transfer. The president expressed his desire to establish more industrial parks across Nigeria and promote cordial relationships for mutual benefits. The Chinese Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs, Shen Jiandong, congratulated President Tinubu on his re-election as chairman of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. Jiandong also briefed the president on the invitation extended by President Xi Jinping for a state visit, expressing optimism that the meeting will open up more discussions and opportunities for Nigeria and Africa. The Federal Ministry of Justice has announced the conviction of 125 Boko Haram terrorists and financiers in a mass trial held in Kainji, Niger State. The trial, which took place over 2 days, resulted in convictions on charges related to terrorism, terrorism financing, and international criminal court criminality. According to Kamadin Ogundele, Spokesman for the Attorney General of the Federation. The trials were held before 5 Federal High Court judges led by Justice Bintan Yako. The prosecution team was led by the Director of Public Prosecution of the Federation, Mohammed Baba Doko Abubakar. The courts sentenced 85 individuals for terrorism financing, 22 for ICC-related crimes, and others for terrorism. The trials were observed by international organizations, including the National Human Rights Commission, the Nigerian Bar Association, and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crimes. The conviction marks a significant milestone in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. The Defense Headquarters and the Department of State Services, DSS, have placed their personnel on high alert to prevent any potential breakdown in law and order. This comes ahead of a planned protest against the economic crisis in the country, which security forces believe may turn violent. According to the security agencies, the planned protest is not intended to be peaceful, but rather aims to create anarchy. The Defense Headquarters and DSS have assured that they are taking necessary measures to maintain law and order and prevent any potential threat to national security. The security forces are urging citizens to remain calm and go about their daily activities without fear. They have also warned that any attempts to disrupt public peace or engage in violent activities will be dealt with decisively. In a move to address the growing concerns of environmental degradation, the Nigeria Police Force has taken a proactive step towards a sustainable future. The force has launched an innovative green initiative aimed at combating the devastating effects of climate change and simultaneously boosting its operational efficiency. Our correspondent, Irene Okichukwu, has the details.
The Nigeria Police Green Initiative was launched in Abuja with the theme Leveraging Climate Mitigation and Adaptation for Increasing Operational Efficiency of the Nigerian Police Force and Social-Economic Development of Nigeria. The initiative aims to adopt renewable energy sources, promote eco-friendly transportation, and reduce the environmental footprint of police operations. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who launched the Nigerian Police Green Initiative, said the federal government will continue to invest in the NPF through the provision of equipment, facilities, and adequate training, while recognizing the importance of the NPF. He called for urgent need for interagency collaboration and cooperation to implement solutions that can reverse the effects of climate change.
Nigeria has been at the forefront of the global search for solutions to the devastations of climate change. We have always known that we cannot reach these targets of aligning with international climate goals and reducing greenhouse gas emissions unless each person and every stakeholder lives up to their obligation. This is the promise we made to the world at the COP28 conference in Dubai last year. Alongside other nations, we reiterated the urgent need for global cooperation to implement solutions that can stop and reverse the effects of climate change.
Speaking at the launch event, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Ebietokun, said the initiative will help Nigerian transition to a low-carbon economy and encourage a lifestyle change among individuals, including planting trees, creating solar power, and rolling out gas. He also said the initiative will see the adoption of renewable energy sources for lighting applications, promotion of eco-friendly transportation methods, and reduction of environmental footprint across police operations.
I unveiled the Nigeria Police Green Initiative before a global audience, marking the first of its kind in Africa. I also pledged the Nigeria Police Force commitment to renewable energy through green solutions to boost our operational efficiency and capacity to fight crime and maintain law and order in Nigeria. It is imperative to note that focusing on government sustainability is a strategic necessity. By participating in the Net Zero Government Initiative, we have committed to actions such as transitioning to clean vehicle fleets, improve energy efficiency in government buildings, increase the use of carbon-free electricity, promote sustainable public procurement policies, and implement resilience and nature-based solutions.
The Nigerian Police Green Initiative is a step in the right direction towards combating climate change and promoting sustainable development. From Abuja, Irene Okechukwu, Rapid TV News.
The Lagos State government is leading the way in citizen-centered governance, and the state's commitment to participatory governance is taking center stage, with last year's forum already yielding tangible results in the 2024 budget. Our correspondent, Esther Omelo, reports.
This gathering of the Oba of Lagos, Oba Rinwon Akiolu, other prominent traditional rulers, market women, youth, people living with disabilities, civil society, and other residents of Lagos Division is at the instance of the Lagos State Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. The annual gathering, tagged the 2025 Budget Consultative Forum, is to engage these residents on the contribution to the formulation of the 2025 budget. The Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget briefed the Lagos Division residents on the performance of the 2024 budget so far.
So far has performed well. We're currently, as I said, going through our media reviews, so we hope that by this month that has been finished, and we'll be able to sort of give a lot more details as to where we are with our half year. But so far so good. We've done well. We've hit our indices. Our IGR is doing well. We can obviously do better. We're looking at ensuring we can ramp up our other sources of generation apart from IGR as a state, and I think it translates to all the projects you've seen so far.
Then the breakout session, where residents assess the Babajide Sanwo-Olu-led administration and highlight areas of intervention.
I'd like the government to do more on security, right? Because doing things, right, or putting things, infrastructure on ground without people securing it, anything can happen to it. Also, I want the government to do more on roads. Most of our roads are bad, and the government is trying. Thirdly, water.
We want Mr. Governor to facilitate a dedicated desk for young people at the local government level. What we have presently is the Department of Agric at the local level. So we believe that if the youth desk is created, and what happens is that young people will be in charge of that office. They understand better what is happening to young people, and they'll be able to, transfer those data or some of the yearnings of young people to the state government.
Taking note of the issues that have been raised, we're going to take it back to the office, and it's not a once in a year event. It's continuously happening. So at any point in time during the year, they can come into our office, and indeed, what that does for us is also we can also go to the ministries that are involved. So if there's something relating to environment, we relate it back to the Ministry of Environment, to transportation, and say, look, in this area, what's going on with this? And we then mark it and track it. So they can always come back to us at any point during the year, and we can update them as to what's been going on.
The 2025 Budget Consultative Forum will hold in 5 divisions across the state. Esther Omelo, Rapid TV, Lagos.
You're still watching Rapid TV News tonight. Coming after the break, business, foreign news, and sports. Don't go away.
Hey Stars, get more value for your money with StarTimes Upgrade promo. Recharge 1 month on Nova, Basic, or Classic Bouquet and get upgraded to the next bouquet to enjoy exciting top shows like Hidden Truth,
even if something happens between you,
For the Crowd, Celebrity Cook-Off,
okay, viewers.
Now, by the time we use half of it, the food goes sweet well.
Prides of Passion, and more. If you're on Super Bouquet, recharge for 1 month and get an extra 5 days free. La Liga is back on StarTimes. Anticipate, get ready, it's big. This offer starts from June 13th to August 15th, 2024. Recharge now and enhance your viewing satisfaction with the StarTimes Upgrade promo. Terms and conditions apply. StarTimes, entertain your family.
Your car.
Are you serious? You are the most amazing husband in the whole world.
Oh, come on.
I really miss my son.
I know that feeling. He's your small husband.
Can say that again.
Mabel, you still haven't told me who the father of that boy is.
Rise and shine with Rapid Dawn, your essential morning companion only on Rapid TV.
Start your day with us. We bring you the latest news, engaging discussions, and a fresh perspective on issues that matter.
From weather updates to our wellness tip, interesting recipes, and our trendy conversations every Tuesday to the weirdest of talks on Wednesday, Rapid Dawn has got you covered. So grab a coffee and join us every weekday morning on Rapid Dawn. Let's greet the day together.
Rapid Dawn, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. only on Rapid TV. Join us and wake to the dawn of a new day. See you in the morning.
When you want to do down clutching, now so you go come here. Come meet me. 40,000.
Eh? You don't forget saying you promise me, say you go take care of me.
My name is Akio Sakido.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Theo Bliss.
My name is Akava. I go by the name Baba D. And you're tuned into Rapid TV.
I love Rapid TV.
Shout out Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV. This is Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it well down.
Leave it like that.
Thanks for being there. Now the rest of the news. The Central Bank of Nigeria has taken steps to stabilize the foreign exchange market, disbursing $148 million to 29 authorized dealers. The sales were made with exchange rates ranging from 1,470 naira to 1,510 naira per dollar. This move comes 2 weeks after the CBN sold $122.67 million to 46 authorized dealers, aiming to promote market stability and reduce volatility. Additionally, the CBN announced last week that it would sell $20,000 to each bureau de change at a rate of 1,450 naira per dollar. Despite these efforts, the naira has continued to depreciate against the US dollar, trading above 1,600 naira at the official market on Thursday. The CBN's latest sales brings the total amount disbursed to authorized dealers in recent weeks to over $290 million as the bank works to mitigate the naira's decline. Gordon Amunde has more on business.
Hello, welcome to Business News Update. Business community has urged the government and the Central Bank of Nigeria to consider a more balanced approach to monetary policy. They noted that while controlling inflation is crucial, mitigating adverse effects on business operations and economic growth is imperative. They noted we consigned the recent decision by the CBN to raise the monetary policy rate by 50 basis points, bringing it from 26.75%. Following the 296th Monetary Policy Committee meeting, this increment comes amid escalating inflation and surging food prices. Speaking, the Director General of Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Chinyere Almona, recommended that the government should release more capital expenditure to reflect business activities and support the contribution to economic growth, saying that the capital expenditure released so far is too small in the face of the magnitude of the infrastructural deficit that businesses suffer from. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wali Edun, has announced that the federal government's revenue for the first half of 2024 has exceeded its budgetary target. Edun, who announced this at a press briefing in Abuja on Thursday, also clarified that the Supreme Court's proceedings granting financial autonomy to local government have not yet been communicated to the Attorney General of the Federation for proper study and implementation. A 7-man panel of the Supreme Court made the landmark decision on July 11, 2024, which was, however, opposed by some state governors. The minister explained that the process was still in its early stages and further steps will be taken once the full details were available. A federal government committee was set up to examine the practicability of the judgment. This indicates that the direct disbursement of funds to local governments, initially expected to commence at the Federation Account Allocation Committee's monthly meeting last week, will be delayed until the committee fully reviews the Supreme Court's proceedings. Edun explains that the committee, comprising representatives from the federal states, local governments and the Attorney General, is working on implementation. However, he noted that there were practical impediments, such as the need for elected local government officials to resolve the form. And of course, to wrap it up on business tonight, the South African rand gained in early trade on Friday as market focused on a key U.S. inflation reading that could offer more cues on the Federal Reserve's future interest rate path. At 0730 GMT, the rand traded at 18.26 against the dollar, about 0.6% stronger than its previous close. The U.S. personal consumption expenditures data for June, the Fed's favored measure of inflation, is due later on Friday and could give hints on the timing of interest rates cut in the world's biggest economy. Data out of the U.S. on Thursday showed that the economy grew faster than expected in the second quarter, but inflation pressures subsided, leaving intact expectations of a September rate cut. Like other risk-sensitive currencies, the rand often takes cues from global drivers such as U.S. economic data and monetary policy, in addition to local factors. On the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the blue chip top 40 index was little changed in early trade. South Africa's benchmark 2030 government bond was slightly stronger in early days as the yield slipped 2.3 basis points to 9.452%. And that's it on Business News Update. Godwin Amundi, Rapid Television News continues.
On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Barack Obama and his wife Michelle have endorsed Kamala Harris's bid for the presidency. In a heartfelt video, the couple expressed their pride and support for Harris. Harris expressed gratitude for the endorsement, saying it meant a lot to her. The Obama's endorsement is significant given Barack Obama's enduring popularity within the Democratic Party. Harris is currently making plans to name a running mate by August 7th. The endorsement comes as a boost to Harris's campaign, particularly after advisors to former President Donald Trump indicated they may not participate in a previously agreed upon debate now that Harris is the Democratic candidate replacing President Biden. The Obama support is expected to bring significant momentum to Harris's campaign as she moves forward in the presidential race. Arthur Brooks is on standby with more news from the foreign scene.
Good evening. Welcome to the international news. Here are your top stories. First to Zambia, where the police are investigating the abduction and murder of Zambia's newly appointed broadcasting regulator chief, Guntila Malaya. His body was discovered on the outskirts of the capital Lusaka on Wednesday with gunshot wounds. His death has shocked people, especially as gun violence is not common in Zambia. Police believe the Director General of the Independent Broadcasting Authority was kidnapped after leaving work Tuesday. The IBA is responsible for licensing standards and enforcing compliance. When Mr. Mulea failed to return home Tuesday night, his family alerted the police and search began. The police said his body was discovered by a member of the public on his way to work. 2 shotgun cartridges were also found at the scene. Mr. Mulea took over at the IBA in May from a veteran journalist who had headed the authority for 10 years. He was previously the general manager in Zambia of the South African pay TV firm MultiChoice. In a statement, IBA said it was deeply saddened by the death and would continue to uphold the value and vision that Mr. Mulea championed during his brief tenure. Now to South Africa, where President Cyril Ramaphosa named Mandisa Meyer, the current Deputy Chief Justice, as the country's most senior judge. Her term is to start on September 1st, replacing retiring Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. Meyer, 60, served as the Judge President of the Supreme Court of Appeal and was the first black woman to be appointed a judge in that court. Ramaphosa nominated Meyer for Chief Justice in February, and after interview by the Judicial Services Commission, it was noted her appointment would be a significant milestone for the country. Meyer grew up in rural Eastern Cape of South Africa. She won a Fulbright scholarship in 1989 for a Master's in Law at Duke University, USA, a rare achievement for a young black woman during the apartheid era. In an interview in 2017, she said she intended to study medicine but changed her mind after looking at a medical textbook and switched to law. South Africa has had all male Chief Justices since the post was created in 1910 when a British colony. Meyer will be the 8th Chief Justice since South Africa became a democracy at the end of the apartheid era in 1994. Finally, the USA, where Vice President and Democratic contender Kamala Harris held frank and constructive talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House in Washington. Harris spoke of her serious concern about the human suffering in Gaza at talks with Netanyahu. They met to discuss the Gaza war and the possibility of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Harris described her talks as frank and constructive, saying she accepts Israel's right to defend itself. How it does so matters. Netanyahu earlier gave a fiery speech to Congress, vowing total victory over Hamas and denouncing American opponents of the Gaza war as idiots. The visit comes at a time of pressure for Israel and the US to find an end to the 9-month war that's left 39,000 dead in Gaza and 1,200 dead in Israel. Netanyahu's talks with Harris came after a meeting with President Biden Thursday. Biden is pressing Israel and Hamas to release remaining hostages in Gaza over 3 phases. White House officials say ceasefire negotiations are in the closing stages, but there are unresolved issues. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called the humanitarian situation in Gaza a total disaster, stating humanitarian aid is far from sufficient. And that's all we can take for tonight. Have a great weekend. I am Arthur James Brooks.
Up next is our entertainment segment.
Hello and welcome to Entertainment News. We begin with the National Film and Video Censors Board says it has reached out to the producers of a yet-to-be-released film over the use of the niqab in a robbery scene in the movie. Recall that the scene sparked outrage among Muslims after popular actress Nancy Isime shared a photo of it on Instagram on Monday. The Muslim Rights Concern, in a statement signed by Executive Director of MURIC, Professor Ishaq Akintola, on Thursday, called for the ban on the yet-to-be-released movie. The group described the movie as satanic, adding that it depicts Muslim women as criminals and incites the public against them. However, the NFVCB, in a statement by its Director General Shoaibu Hussaini, late Thursday said that the contact had been made with the producers to address the contentious issue, as he also reiterated that the film has yet to be released. Hussaini added that it made contact with the producers to address the contentious issue. The National Film and Video Censors Board is the regulatory board set up by Act number 85 of the 1993 to regulate the film and video industry in Nigeria. A niqab is a type of Islamic garment worn by some Muslim women as part of their modesty practices. Nigerian international music icon Yemi Alade has released her highly anticipated new album, Rebel Queen. The album titled Rebel Queen is Yemi Alade's sixth album, and it reflects her boundless, unapologetic love for her African heritage. On the album, the award-winning star delivered her signature blend of vibrant Afro-pop, dancehall, amapiano, lingala, Afrobeat, reggae, and R&B, creating a rich tapestry of sounds that will resonate with music lovers worldwide. Known affectionately as Mama Africa for her celebration of African heritage, Yemi Alade's multilingualism shines through in Rebel Queen as she sings in Yoruba, English, Igbo, French, and Swahili. This cross-cultural approach underscores her commitment to spreading African music and culture across the globe. Finally, American rapper Wiz Khalifa and his girlfriend Amy Aguela are experiencing the joy of parenthood as they welcome their first child. The See You Again rapper and the model privately welcomed their first child together, a baby girl named Cadence, on July 17, as Amy confirmed on social media. The 30-year-old went on to share some details about the birth, which didn't go exactly as planned. Amy and Wiz Khalifa, who also shares 11-year-old son Sebastian Taylor with ex Amber Rose, first announced they were expecting on Father's Day, alongside a photo of the couple, who have been public with their romance since 2019. Holding the pregnancy test and showing off her growing bump, the Khalifa Kush founder wrote in a June 16 Instagram post, "Baby girl on the way." And that's it on entertainment. The news continues.
And now sports news. World leaders have arrived in Paris for the opening ceremony for the Olympics, with many gathering at President Emmanuel Macron's Élysée Palace office. The dignitaries were seen arriving on Friday afternoon ahead of the evening's festivities. President Macron and his wife Brigitte welcomed the guests on the red carpet in the courtyard of the Élysée, where a reception has been held for around 85 heads of state or government. The reception is a precursor to the highly anticipated opening ceremony. The Paris Olympics opening ceremony kicked off on the River Seine from 7:30 local time, marking the official start of the Games. The ceremony promises to be a spectacular event with the world's top athletes and leaders in attendance. Meanwhile, thousands of spectators faced long queues and ticketing problems as they arrived for the Paris Olympics opening ceremony along the River Seine. Many gates opened late, with some delayed by up to 2 hours due to staff not having the necessary scanners to check tickets. Frustrated attendees expressed disappointment, with some paying thousands of euros for tickets only to face disorganization and delays. The crowds faced further challenges when heavy rain began to fall as the gates finally opened at 5:30 p.m., 2 hours before the start of the show. Some attendees required medical attention, including one man who collapsed while waiting. The opening ceremony is a massive undertaking, with around 100,000 people seated on the lower banks and bridges, and another 200,000 with free tickets on the upper banks. Despite the challenges, the show is expected to go on, with attendees eagerly awaiting the start of the Paris Olympics. And that concludes details of the news tonight. Before we go, here is a recap of the major stories. House of Reps launches probe into crude oil theft. 125 Boko Haram terrorist financiers convicted. CBN injects $148 million into forex markets, 29 dealers benefit. Obama has endorsed Kamala Harris for president in 2024. Paris Olympics hit by long queues and ticketing chaos on opening day. And that's the size of our package tonight. My name is Ugochukwu Madumere. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting content on Rapid Television tonight. Good evening.
My name is also.
My name is Ima Ehumadu, aka La Vista.
My name is DK, aka Mamachinedu.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
You are watching Rapid TV.
Shout out to Rapid TV.
Hey, Rapid TV, Carigo.
The biggest, the finest, the only Rapid TV.
Rapid TV.
Yes, keep watching.
Don't go nowhere. Don't touch that down.
Keep watching Rapid TV.
This is me giving a rapid response to Rapid TV.